again, welcome to the first possibility coaching training globally ever. And I'm welcoming you in this space. I'm scared and joyful at the same time, and I don't know yet what we will discover. And at the same time, I know like we will thrive as a group, and I'm glad that we are in this team together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so good to have a team, and I feel so glad to have this opportunity that I could invite you into this space, that it was actually very easy to find you because you were already in my field. And it was like, okay, who do I want to work with? Who do I really see as in my team? And you were the ones on my list, and others which probably join the second edition and expand then the team. And I want to start with what Monica brought up before you entered the space. Monica was telling, I'm not going into details, but it's like, oh, I'm exhausted. I needed to hold space yesterday, and I pushed it through. No one know it, but I'm knowing it. I'm pushing through something in this direction. And what came up for me is that actually it's not, when we are holding space, it's not us holding space. And it seems to me that, Monica, for you, it is like you're still holding space. And I want to bring the distinction in that actually our bright principles are doing the work. And for us to get out of our way is the main job, so that our clients can receive what they need to receive, that the necessity can really pull through what they want to hear and what they need, so that their being and their shape, their matrix can build up, or their box can break actually and crack into a liquid state, which we need that they shape into something else and morph into something else. So therefore, I want to call in the bright principles of the whole group and opening this. So I invite you to first ground yourself, if you're not yet done it, to click your clicker and make your grounding cord, get your energetic center to your physical center, make a bubble. And I already created the cube, the golden cube, for us as a team. And then in this space, call in your bright principles, that we know who's actually working now, who's in here. Okay. Love, clarity, empowerment and transformation.
Authenticity,
Connection.
healing,
Connection,
Possibility,
love,
joy,
clarity,
Empowerment,
clarity,
transformation,
empowerment,
connection,
connection,
clarity,
meaning, happiness,
elegance,
love,
love,
utility,
magic,
transformation, and clarity.
Thank you. Mainly I heard trainers and coaches' bright principles. So you're on the perfect spot to be. It's like this is how it works. Thank you for having the clarity and already your bright principles distilled, and that you can really make space for them, that you can go out of your own way and let them pass. And on this journey of possibility coaching, I was really asking myself, okay, what is it all about? What is the difference between all the other techniques which are in the field around in personal development? And I also ask you to read through the homepage, Create Possibilities, because it is packed with distinctions and understandings of how we see in possibility management what is possibility coaching. And the main distinctions, I think it's about possibilities, and it's not about analyzing and fixing a person, but really opening doorways one after the other for the client to shift into the next space. And you're painting the bridge, and you're opening the door, you're opening the window, and you're building the path for them so that they can move into the next space. And what I realized is that that so often it's like the two phases of healing is still applying, even in the field where I'm in this very conscious field of personal development and evolution. Still, people are trying to fix themselves, and I'm suspicious that you have also, or some of you have also, this pattern in your box, like I'm not good enough, I need to fix myself. And like I'm definitely in this with you. And for me, this is also related to the two phase of healing, because this is how we were raised, and this is how we were brought up, that actually if you have an illness, you need to fix yourself, and then you go back to normal. And possibility coaching is just the opposite of that. It's like you don't want that we lost someone.
Devin.
Devin is still here.
Nope.
So okay.
Martin. No, Martin is there. Is there.
Okay. So she will come back. So possibility coaching is just the opposite. It's actually, we don't want them to get back to normal again. Our clients, if we allow them to go back to normal and stay in their box, actually we failed. Yeah? We failed in the way of something came in our way. Our box was taking over, or a gremlin was taking over, or we were blocking actually the bright principles to move through us so that they can do their work. And these next 10 weeks, actually, this is what we are focusing on, is to get ourselves out of the way, and to check where we are blocking. Where are you blocking yourself for being in service, and where you are still thinking that you need to do something, that you need to hold everything together, and where you think, oh, I need to do it right. It's me. It's actually me holding space. All these thoughts like, oh, damn it, I did not do it right. And all these aftermath, when you had hold space, and afterwards you would think, oh, where I did great. Yeah, these are indicators for, okay, who was then actually holding space, and were you able to get yourself out of the way, so that the client can really get the full dosage and the full magic what can happen when you are opening the gates and you are stepping aside. So to warm us up, to get our kind of our X on the map, I would like to give you the opportunity to scan each other, to notice and practice noticing and scanning. And this would be in a group of 2, like in pairs, and each person has 13 minutes of scanning time. And it goes very easily like this. The person on the other side is not saying anything. You are quiet. You're opening yourself up. And you as a coach, you are scanning on all levels. What is going on in the mental body, what is going on the physical body, the energetic, the emotional, the archetypal, the box, the gremlin, the being, all different kind of layers. And shift after 2 minutes, shift through so that you really get the whole spectrum. Don't stay too long at one body. And this will help us to get an X on the map. This is how how you start into this 10-week journey. And I'm not sure, but maybe we're gonna do this just at the end again and see what happened, how we transformed within. This is just an idea coming through. So any questions regarding this exercise?
Yes, are we taking notes?
You have the recording. Oh, actually. You can, yes. But it's not like you would, because I really want that it lands in you and not that you block yourself while you're writing. It's also a stopping mechanism. So let's check. Okay.
We have a minute of transition time to write down things that we remember after.
Yes, let's do that. So you have 13 minutes and then 2 minutes of writing down, and then you shift. So each person has 15 minutes. Does that work?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Great. So
Annie is back. You can give her
a summary.
Yes.
And I'm gonna so I'm preparing just now. So Anne-Elizabeth, thank you for shifting and changing your name. I like this much more than any Hopkins. I don't know. Sorry. So we're gonna go in breakout rooms and you're gonna scan the mental, the physical, the energetic, the emotional, and the archetypal body of the person, your client, and the box and the being and the gremlin. All together you have 13 minutes for that, and afterwards you have 2 minutes to make notes, to write down. But really the invitation is for the person who is receiving kind of the reading. It's a reading, it's a scanning, noticing, it's a reading from you. Really let it land in your system fully. And if you have further questions, Anne-Elizabeth, you're with Sabine. she will tell you how it works. Just let her start.
Yes.
Then you know how it works. Great. Any other questions? So then enjoy and have fun.
Not thick enough for the environment you are in right now. It's somehow reacting to the space by, I see that in the reaction of fear, that this fear is not only a box fear of planning and organizing, but also energetical friction or shaking. Or it could be also archetypal body that is taking a big step right now or going through some liquid states by doing big steps, somehow bigger than the knowing or the planning can be. Okay, that was that. The gremlin is every gremlin is protective, but it's a gremlin that has an introverted part. Like it's not so much on jumping on other people or jumping in situations or crashing spaces, but more into judging yourself or holding yourself back, or maybe also coming up with shocking stories, like stories that make things bigger than they actually are. And that's a collaboration with the box that is want to make things normal as possible, as in like your gremlin is protecting a box that is don't want to be extravagant, or I don't know how it's the word, to take too much attention, or like it's the camouflage box, and the camouflage gremlin tries to fit in and adapt to the space. In the being also, I see some pain of lack of connection and celebration. I see the longing also for intimacy and being in a familiar environment, something like that. I see that in this instableness of the energetic body not being grounded or rooted clearly in itself. In the mental body, I see some enforcing, trying to push things, like impatience. That the energy of fear and the energy of anger, creating an emotion of like a mixed feeling of impatience.
Also, a mix of to be relaxed and a bit extension. It's a mix. And in your mental body, there's some irritation and questions and some
Sabine, when it's not coming through, say, hey, give me more information, get more clear. It's like you can ask your bright principles to really like ask them and they will deliver. So get very precise and like, I don't get it. What question? And then wait and just be also bold. Sometimes it sounds really crazy. Like, how can you know?
Yeah, it's more that I can't find the right English word for this.
Ah, okay. Okay. So what do you search?
The last one was on the intellectual level. That what did you mean that or? Okay.
No, just a word. If you miss a word.
Ja, war dieses der Wunsch nach Bewerten oder diese Irritation.
The wish for values.
Yes. Der Wunsch nach Klarheit, the wish for clarity. So, for more clarity now.
So,
and Elizabeth, just let it sink in. Like, no questions, just let it sink in. And did you already do the box, the being, the gremlin, maybe this?
The box is missing.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So, and then you can just hip hop around. You have some more minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Did someone just come in here? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was checking out something in your box, Gremlin, where it's like some way where you're the part of your archetypal lineage that is about holding spaces is constrained by like your commitment to being a student or being somehow held by others in spaces, like something still hierarchical in the way your box and gremlin view how spaces work. And
yeah, Devin, you have half a minute and then round up, and then you have 2 more minutes for making notes, Marcus.
And the thank you. The archetypal body.
And I had a moment you would jump into your mind and you would be thinking.
So you have time now for making notes. So who did the scanning?
I was during scanning.
Okay. Okay. Nico, it's your time to make your notes. Almost a good minute, and then you can shift. So I come back to you later.
Okay.
Ups. Hallo Christina.
Hello. So you're
Monika macht gerade Notizen.
perfect. Great.
Ach so, ich mache mir Notizen, alles klar. Ich habe mir schon ein paar Sachen aufgeschrieben.
Okay.
Ja. Und dann könnt ihr langsam shiften. Great.
Ich finde das immer wieder interessant, wie unterschiedlich das ist zu scannen. Also mal ist es total einfach, da springt es einen fast an und manchmal ist es so wie, okay, wo ist die Lücke? Wo kommt man rein?
Ja.
Wenn wir dich schon hier haben, auch Christine als Feedback, ich meine, wir haben die gleiche Übung gemacht letzte Woche mit Anna Kloer in einer Gruppe und ich habe diese Übung auch gemacht und einfach auch die Wahrnehmung so mitgeteilt und ich würde irgendwie so konfrontiert, dass ich dann so meine Fantasie dafür nutze, ne? Und seitdem natürlich mich beschäftigt das sehr oder habe ich dann natürlich sofort einfach so Angst, das zu machen, ne? Damit ich meine Fantasie nicht da reinbringe, ne? Und ich zerbreche mir meinen Kopf. Ja, wie scanne ich denn dann? Ne? Also wie scanne ich? Also wenn ich jetzt jemanden sehe, dann, ja, ich empfinde das in meinem Körper.
Monika, das ist eine super Frage, die du dann in die Gruppe stellen kannst.
Ja.
Bring das bitte in die Gruppe. Ja, und das ist super wichtig. Genau,
Okay.
jetzt Maren,
Ja,
Monika,
ja,
du fängst an,
ja.
oder? Genau.
Ich fange jetzt an, ja. Und ich mache Maren so wie du, ne? Ich spreche dann immer wieder, ne? Das, was ich dann wahrnehme. Ne? Mhm.
Genau.
Mhm. Also in dem mentalen Körper nehme ich wahr, es war so eine leichte Bewegung, so von einem Wasser im Gefäß, aber das ist so ruhig. Also das ist ich empfinde ja so eine angenehme Ruhe in dem mentalen Körper und im emotionalen Körper kann ich Angst, Traurigkeit, ein bisschen Wut wahrnehmen.
Genau, und werd ganz genau, wie viel Prozent, wegen was. Ja.
Ja, so 30% Angst, weil es sich ja nicht angenehm anfühlt, gescannt zu werden, weil weil da bist du sichtbar, da jemand schaut dich an und
ich fliege weiter.
Being. Hello.
Hi.
This quality, I really see it as this quality of being. I'll tell you what I'm saying, Christine. This quality of being present, being with, and being a guide just by how you're present. I think this is a quality of your being or your archetypal body. And I think I see also in your box and gremlin, there is something about this. Like in your box, maybe it's related, or in your emotional body, in the past, it has been related to also thinking you're not allowed to take that space. And then at the same time, maybe a part of your gremlin then wanting to rebel and like play strong, or like, yeah, rebel against this inner prison. So I'm seeing this fight between like, you know, having to withdraw and then like manifesting yourself. And then in between this, I see the quality of the being who's just present like this, being with.
Yeah, check what is the next layer, what is coming.
Next layer of this.
Yeah, or like what is coming next. Just
Yeah, I was going to go to the physical body.
Great.
In the physical body, I sense somehow calmness. There's something about meditativeness or wanting to keep something.
Yeah.
Your being is moving you forward. There's a piece of you that is about growing and about moving forward and about creating your heart's desire with other people. And that works at cross preferences with the box and the emotions and the old emotions and what has maybe happened to you earlier in life, where
and Elizabeth, and how does it cross? Like,
how does it cross?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's early lessons that say don't show yourself, don't move forward, let yourself be not seen, or let yourself be safe. And the being is saying, no, we're ready to grow out beyond that. And just being in places like this, the being wants to grow, the being is willing, the being will go first if there's a reason not that you need that it's a required thing, you know. If for like I didn't know the directions clearly, so you were willing to go for first, even though your preference was to sink back at first. So you have a willingness from the being and a resistance from box and and old emotions and thoughts that are created from the box and the old emotions.
Yeah, because try to be more specific. It's more specific in a way of like, okay, what are the resistances? What are the thoughts? What is what you're perceiving? Yeah, allow yourself to be
Exactly. What are these thoughts?
Yeah.
These thoughts are, what if I'm wrong?
And stay connected with her. Look at her and let it pull through you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thoughts are yeah, what will people think about? What will people think about me? I have a sense that your gremlin it will be a great ally in creating situations and having you do things that you normally don't do. That like even moving yourself in a way, like dancing when you're in public. Something like that.
You have 2 more minutes, Elizabeth, and then Sabine has 2 minutes to write down.
Yeah, it's almost like a question. What have I done wrong is the question that I scan for in your box. When I scan for your gremlin, I noticed that I am afraid to make all this up, and
Yes, say that. Just say it. You have 1 more minute.
And so it seems like there's a relationship that is already well established with your gremlin. Your gremlin knows kind of how to be with you, or you've kind of clarified the area of who's in charge. And then he's missing 20% or 30% of relationship with you in regards to in not being in full service with you due to how the box, like how your box is. And yeah.
Okay, Marcus, round up, and then Devin has time to make notes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just closed the breakout room, and then it's this 1 minute of counting down.
How did you do that we can see the time in the space in the breakouts?
That's cool, huh? It's there's this what is it? The
clock?
No, like when you there's where you also
Write the text.
yeah, write the text, and next to it there is kind of a sign, eine Mutter. I don't know.
Ah, okay, yeah, that like this. Okay.
And there you go, and then you type in the time.
No. Thank you.
Great. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's take a deep breath all together so that we can land together in this space. And how was it going, especially as the possibility coach, as the scanner? Any insights, any questions, something what came up?
I missed. Now we go first.
I feel joy because initially I felt the fear, and it was a little bit of a gremlin fear of, yeah, but what's the difference between interpreting and projecting and scanning? And I consciously didn't ask the question because I've sensed in other situations that there's something about creating the space, and then impulses come, and I'm interested to see where that the impulses, there's impulses that come from here, and there's impulses that come as a big round thing, and they really seem to come from the space in front of me, and they come like this, and they have a very intuitive quality. So I had various of these. It's, yeah, connecting to this like big round space that felt very intuitive today with Joseph.
Can you say more? How is the technique? What kind of technique you are using? You said there's a space in the front. Like, be precise so that we can also get it. Get the technique.
I looked at Joseph, and I felt my body, and yeah, today it felt like, I don't know if it's my energetic body, I don't know what kind of space it is, but it felt like there's like an intuitive sensor that starts like halfway my upper legs until here. And with this, I receive information. And that's different than if I receive it or think it with my head. And and then I look for images and words to describe it.
Okay, so you receive also images. This word here. Okay. Great, thank you. Johanna.
First, I want to give a feedback. I missed in this exercise to have received feedback about, or to give feedback also when I was scanned to the person, to feel like what's the resonance with what was shared. So yeah, and it comes from the question, was it projecting on the other person? And how it works for me is I create a emptiness in me, and I let the messages or sometimes it's sensations or images like that bring. It's more like how it's called, metaphors. A metaphor about what I feel about the person or the being. And yeah, basically it worked for me like this, with making an empty space and being present, and having opening this curiosity, who I am with, who is that person I am, and what is coming, and then letting in, and just speaking without knowing what I will say. It's called, doesn't come from the brain.
Great, thank you.
To me, it was that I check with the body. I want to check the other body. Like I'm like with my mental, I check the mental body. With my heart, I check the emotional body. With my energetic body, I check the energetic body. With my gremlin, I check on the gremlin. Like I'm it's like putting different glasses, and then I see that part more. Or if I'm looking for something specific, then I put the glass. Like if I want to check what's blocking her right now, or what is she angry about, then I'm checking with that part of me, let's say.
Cool. And how, yeah. And how do you shift? How do you shift? Is it like, how do you shift the different kind of qualities? You say it's glasses. How do you?
Yeah, in that case, it was because it was pretty conscious. I think in other cases, I don't do it that consciously, but I saw, for example, some fear, and then I connected with my emotional body to see what's the fear about. Or I was sharing something, and then I thought, okay, she might think this and that now. So I checked with my mental body what kind of explanation she might look for right now. So I gave her kind of feedback on what I think, what she thinks. Like I was reacting to what I saw and going deeper with that body, with that part of me.
Yeah, and you said also you're using your fear. Like the fear is actually the connector between the different kind of bodies and your like how you perceive it and how you receive it.
Yeah, but it's more that I look at it and then I choose the tool.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Yeah, cool. We are so different. We have so different techniques. It's always like that. Wow. Okay.
I mean, all what was said now, I can see in the way I'm scanning, but my struggle is, or my big question is, or I have the tendency to questioning everything what I see, because I see also pictures and I see colors, and of course I can have somebody in the front of me who is happy with these pictures and colors, and then I can think that it's, oh wow, it's I am right. Or I can questioning until I'm dead everything what I see, and I don't know where it is coming from. I have also the suspicious that because previously I was working with lots of like mediums or people, they do really channeling, and I yeah, and there's some kind of the level I couldn't stand this telling me what I am, and I don't know if this is where it is coming from, but I'm not really sure if this is what I'm seeing, it's my fantasy, or this is my real impression. I don't know this.
Yeah, and I think this is a really relevant question, right? To always have this, like, who's scanning, and what do I scan at the moment, and what is the purpose? And I think what is for me the main distinction is, especially in the possibility coaching sessions, is that I'm scanning the person because it's for me. Usually I'm not, like, of course I can give like distinctions and share with the client what is there, but they are not coming for a reading. They're coming for the next door. So this scanning, what we are now doing, is kind of a preparation for us to get ready. People are not coming for a reading and a scanning in itself. And sometimes it's necessary to kind of cut through the bullshit, and you scan what is going on with the gremlin and you just say it, because it's opening a door and it's painting a picture for the client to go to the next step. But it's not about like this channeling, please tell me who I am, and then I feel better. It's we in possibility or us in possibility management, we are using this to get the X on the map, so that we know where we are actually embarking from, and what is then, and that we see what can, yeah, where is the next step, which you can just see when you have the X. It's a different purpose.
But thank you for telling this, because then I have more joy inside of me, because if I have somebody in the front of me who is like talking and moving, and I mean, like I am in like a bit of interaction with him or her, my intuition or this scanning like works. It feels for me better. But in the constellation, when I sit in the front of somebody and we don't talk practically, this is for me how it feels probably to sit in the front of medium, and I feel like, oh my God, I'm not a medium at all, and maybe this is that what makes me so insecure. And yeah, and there are two different, yeah, this is, I got it now.
It probably, I don't know, I would not, like, I would call it a reading or a scanning, and others would say channeling, whatever, because it's also the opening a gate, and a gate of information, and at the same time the purpose is different. I think this is the main difference, that it's not about consuming and please tell me where I am, so I don't know, I'm a good person, and the bad stuff cannot be revealed, but actually, like, we are here to open the gates also to the underworld, and that's, and of course, when we are practicing this, it's it's scary. It's like, okay, is it wrong? Is it right? The box kicks in, and it's not sure. And this is also, Johanna, what you said, like, I need feedback. Is it bullshit I'm telling the other person or not? And yeah, of course, with the client, you would get feedback. You would see kind of a reaction. You would see something is unfolding. And I made it on purpose that you have not the feedback, not yet. I want to send you in another round, and then you can give each other feedback afterwards. But for now, it was like the first, just kind of cold start. Yeah.
I'd like to ask a question that doesn't need an answer, just to put it in the space. It's in this kind of scanning, I noticed that I don't have clarity about, is my box hooked? And then it creates a hook and an emotion by what was said. So because it's the gremlin of the person who is hooking my gremlin, my box, or is it really what is happening and it's something I didn't see myself? And there's or I'm sharing that just to bring attention on that part of the hook, being hooked by the other person's box or projection, and the box and gremlin are hooked.
Yeah, and you can practice this just in the next round. Like, focus exactly on that, how it works in you, like what is the exact mechanism, and probably it's also a doorway to an emotional healing process when you discover what is the fear about. Yeah.
I discovered for me, I love to scan people, and I had the experience with Monica. I only I couldn't really feel her at whole. I only could fix little points, and that was interesting for me. I don't have it a lot of times that I only could fix little points only, and afterwards I really thought about it. What happened? What did I make? I opened the space. If I make a scanning space, I made a very wide space, and it's only open to space of connection. And then I sit in there, and there's it's the typical frequency I hear and I feel. I couldn't explain it in another way. And I'm in there with the other person, and the disturbing of the space will give me the hints. And so if there is a disturbing of the frequency of this space of connection, then I've put it there. There are different. There is an equality in some case, and over that I put a cover. And this cover brings me pictures. I don't, and that I could change the cover into different pictures. That's what Johanna said, to take a metaphor, to explain what I see. And in my experience, there, if it's the other person, if it's not vibrating really together, if it's not a real connection, then I only could fix little points. That was interesting for me to see. It's not a fault of somebody. It's only that I realize what happens there, and I didn't understood it.
What do you mean with they are not fitting well together? Can you say more about that? What do you mean?
How to explain that?
You mean the different kind of bodies?
They
are a bit in disbalance.
Yes,
or?
and if there are different kinds of bodies in a space, they have they find I only could speak in metaphors now. They find a melody together. In some case, it gives us a special frequency or a special melody, and if it doesn't, if it isn't, it is that disturbance from me or the other persons. If it stuck and doesn't vibrate really through all, then I could only fix little points.
Okay. Yeah.
Maren, what do you mean when you say fix?
What do you mean when?
When you say fix, that you could only fix little points. I don't know what that means.
I can only see.
Okay.
Fix out my English.
Gotcha.
Yeah, focus or something. Yeah, great.
Like get clarity about.
Yeah, like to hold on, to get a grid, something. Yeah.
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 This is how I am. Okay. Devin, how was it working? How was it going?
One of the things that I noticed is, actually Naomi kind of referred to this earlier, but that seems like when something is more, I want to say more real, or more of a, at least for me, more of a authentic impression rather than just a projection, some of the time I'll get something that comes up in the form of an energetic sensation or an image that isn't full, but that I can't, it's as I notice what happens is I try to explain it, and it's really hard. It's like something I haven't said before, and it feels like it's coming from, what is it? Yeah, it reminds me of like staring really hard at an image or something. What is that? And it slowly comes into focus, and then I start saying it. So that's one of the things that came up for me. It's not a brand new discovery, but it's something that I've been exploring more recently, of kind of somehow keeping an eye out for the stuff that's not in my perfect line of view, but it seems like it comes from behind me or from somewhere that isn't right in front of me. And then, yeah, there's something about just getting going. So like, I seem to, I notice I can just kind of stall and stay kind of focused on a person and sort of kind of trying to say something. And then sometimes if I just have a impression, there was one moment where I just had an impression with Marcus, something around the way Marcus loves people. And there wasn't anything really clear about it, but that was the next thing. And so I just tried starting to talk, and it unraveled itself more. But that one of the ways I block this stuff from coming through is somehow, if it's not clear or clean or makes sense right away, I'll hang around in quietness and try to sort of figure it out for a while. And yeah, going into the next round, I want to see what happens when I practice not doing that, or even if I say something really that I don't even believe, or just to try something other than sitting there and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really recommend doing this, because what I've figured out is like, it's pulling it through. Like when I allow myself to just say something, the next thing will come and the next thing will come. But when I'm sitting on it and I'm quiet, it's like nothing is happening, and it's like piling up somehow, but it's not coming through. So just let it out. Even it sounds crazy. Monica, you were saying before, like, is it fantasy or not? Just let it out. I think we are becoming then better also in this space, and more confident to actually go out of the way and let it go, and not question it why we are doing it. This is what I discovered, that it's so. The stream, like I make this, as soon as I'm letting it through, the next comes, kind of, it's already lining up. And I also had this, it's a bit of a sidetrack, but this is also what I realize when I'm doing my own healing processes, and the scene unfolds, and the scene is really unfolding. Like, first I have a glimpse, have an idea, kind of, I'm somewhere on a place, and then as soon as I say this, as soon as I say there's a place, okay, there are people and there is something else, but it just could come up when I say this and I kind of bring it to life. Then the next step is unfolding, and the picture gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think this is also the same mechanism.
Yeah.
Which is kind of then let it unfold, or like the puzzle pieces are coming together again somehow. Okay.
I have a picture for that I want to share. And
yeah.
I mean, I drew it. Maybe you can even see it. But I'll explain. So it's really, I saw the person that is scanned as being the LP, like the disc. And maybe the LP doesn't even know what is on it, like what sound is actually on it. And so that the person scanning is becoming this the phone thing, like the thing with the needle on it, and then and basically this picture works for me for what you just said, is that you cannot wait. I mean, because the sound cannot wait in the megaphone thing. It's just like any sound that you're just right now reading of the person wants to come through, and then there's the next sound. And this way actually the disc can listen to itself. That's what I have as an experience of if someone is scanning me, or as Devin was scanning me and talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the picture. Great.
I just quickly, I noticed so many of us, when we're trying to talk about this, talk in metaphors, and I think that somehow makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, just that there's a lot of metaphorical language or piecing together of how these things work.
Yeah, I think this is also for me when also Clinton, and when we think about, or like when we talk about thought forms, for me these are these pictures flying around and like beings, and they, so that my mind can somehow grab it. It comes in pictures, and sometimes even I have a different taste, a flavor on my tongue, and it comes not just with pictures but also with sensations, with body sensations, sometimes even with pain in my different kind of organs. I think this is also kind of a translation of my body to how to perceive the different kind of layers. Okay, let's practice more. Or is there anything you want to share just now? Okay, and this time we do it like this: 10 minutes you are scanning, and then you have 5 minutes to check how did it land, what did resonate, and also write your notes. Like 5 minutes of speaking, checking how was it, and notes. Great. So I made new groups, and enjoy.
I do.
I mean, he doesn't do nothing special, but he's like running around you, like trying to, like a bit to cover you and like to disturb my scanning. And he has fun. He's a bit shy because he or she knows that you have the power to catch him or to catch her in any time when you want, and put on the side. But this was the moment you were allowed to play and jumping around like your face a bit. And I in the energetical body, I have this impression that energetical body is like it's, I don't know, it's like somewhere else, playing on the green in the forest, or like have, I don't know, that your energetical body has fun somewhere else. And it's, but now in this moment it's like it's there. Yes, now it's like it's there, and it's quite solid. And when your and when your energetical body like came like to you back, you become like more taller. You were like getting a bit bigger, like 1 centimeter bigger. Yeah, and yeah, and I see,
Jumping further.
Und du lässt dich ein, so wie den Strom noch einmal von vorhin, du lässt dich in den Strom ein. Du stehst auch ganz fest in einem Strom drinnen. Du hast gelernt, so fest in einem tosenden Strom zu stehen. Jetzt kommt gerade sowas daher, sowas von fast so schreien und toben und so aus der Haut gehen und so geht überhaupt nicht und völlige Wut und auch so ausflippen und total diese Wut und das kann doch nicht sein, nach rausschreien oder rauspulvern und explodieren.
Und Josef, ist das der mentale Körper oder der emotionale Körper?
Der emotionale Körper. Und mentaler Körper, da sehe ich ganz viel Ordnung und für die Struktur, die du dir gebaut hast. Ich sehe da gerade so eine Art Bücherei oder so eine Art Dokumentationsarchiv, wo das alles gelagert und aufbewahrt wird. Und wo du das dann herziehst, wenn du das brauchst.
Go.
I would be perceiving some, like, I don't know, some aliveness, but it's like they're like, I don't know. I would say like they would be small parts like eating you. There would be like there would be small bugs eating you. I don't like it would be like something which is like it's even like being holes or like it's something which is not complete or it's in the lower part of the belly.
So you're scanning the physical body?
Yes.
Was it on an energetic level? Physical, okay.
Or I can now really say I'm mixing it both. Actually, I would say both somehow.
Okay, so then say this. Allow yourself to be very precise and say, okay, your physical body looks like this, and on an energetic level, it looks like that. Yeah. What's the next layer?
It's time now for feedbacks, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. It works for me that you were really being precise about which part you were scanning each time and having a pause. It helped me to integrate and receive your message. I noticed there are parts that maybe my box couldn't understand yet.
Don't understood everything, so maybe I can ask something back. So you thought something about the gremlin, and you said you won't catch me if there's the idea of the gremlin.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And you mean he is devoted to safety?
Yeah.
To save
Your safety.
my safety, yes. Cool. And I was touched, as you say, what my archetypal body, what you read there, and it's the first thing was to empowering others is one thing, but not the important thing, and that's a true. And I thought it is the important thing. So it's really this creating beauty. What has more meaning for me? Yeah, and I didn't know that before, but if you say that, it really touched me. Thank you.
You've round about a minute. I'm flying.
It's more about posture, but not as so much about the about how close you're sitting to the camera. Yeah. So I'm feeling now your attention when you're sitting back, it was more relaxed and your mind goes elsewhere. And now you're here with me. You have a way of holding your presence and holding your focus. And it's a thing that you can switch on and off, which is good because you can save, well, has the advantage, I don't know if good, bad, but it has one advantage of being able to rest when you're off focus and so that you are more fully present when you are focused.
So what body you are talking about, Anna Elizabeth?
We're talking about presence.
So?
Huh?
So what body is it? The presence. Where you feel the presence.
I feel presence in the mental body first and the energetic body.
So these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So also include this information, right? That
Yes.
you really distinguish between all the different kind of bodies, box, being, gremlin, so that you use these words.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes. It's the mental body I noticed first, but also the energetic body bringing forward and being focused. The energetic body, the way that sense comes is the energy is diffusing when you're relaxed, but when you're focused, the energy points into my direction and making the connection. I sense that the box has a
Hello, Christine.
Hello.
I see you standing there and you're completely available. You're like disarmed. And there's something that you take a stand for your integrity by standing there, and there's something very soft and wise and powerful and soft about it all at the same time.
Where did you see this, Naomi? Which body you're talking about?
I think this is the archetypal body.
Okay.
There's something guardian-like about it. And it's very loving. There's this playfulness that you have. I'm sensing into this playfulness because it's almost like in this playfulness you say, show me something. Like it makes you make yourself available, but in a way that you're like, I see you like this, like show me something. You're like this, I see this position. And I think sometimes
what would that be, like, Naomi? What would that be when you translate this into kind of our language?
Yeah.
Yeah, and find the translation of the picture into possibility language.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. I'm moving on.
And a kind of, I'm noticing like energetically, there's almost like your grounding cord and your center are there, and there's this kind of wobble where you're maybe like light and tentative. Yeah, again, like it's something that maybe anger is required for to keep you from like waving in the wind so much. And maybe it's like thoughts. Your mental body has lots of thoughts in it, and it kind of blows you around a bit. And this anger and sadness, emotional anger and sadness, my sense is that that's what they're for, is to get that filled in somehow.
You have 1 minute, Nicole.
Yeah, and I really have, like, I have this sense of this this queen in the making, where like all the parts are there. There's just this aliveness still to come in, and this sadness still to kind of be resolved. yeah, I got this sense of this matrix as these sticks, like these narrow, small, like wires almost, that can stand on their own, that have this other territory to grow into, and that something about that is like this emerging queen that is happening. And
yeah, Nico, wrap it up, and then you have 5 minutes to get feedback. How did it resonate? And also, Monica, it's your time to write something if you did not do it.
Yes,
Great. Great.
I mean,
thank you, Christine.
like as a resume, Nicole, I will write you later.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome back, Naomi.
I think you could mute her. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you. She's talking to someone at her door.
Okay. So, any discoveries? How was it this time?
I actually started. I was bringing into this exercise some emotion because I was not able to start as before with Nicole, and so like there is. I'm through this space here. I'm discovering that actually I have a fear to say what is really going on, because like I would actually somehow be hurt, or I would be punished, or like it's somehow too dangerous to be so outside of normality when I'm scanning, and events make me I'm creating chaos, and I'm actually confusing. I'm not clearly saying what I could say more clearly. That Johanna gave me this feedback actually that she didn't understand, and it was because I was stuttering.
Yeah, great. That's the next doorway, and it looks like others are resonating with this. So we will also have like the EHP dojo and also the 3 cells, and this would be a perfect next step for you, Martin, and probably also I saw Nicole and Maren. Sounds you were resonating. And Naomi, I was muting you before because someone was like, just if you want to say something that.
Thank you for making me aware. I didn't think. Yeah, this practice at the same time, we're talking about the difficulties, but it's so magnificent. It's so incredible. Like in both sessions, the things and how they landed in me there, I understood what Marcus was saying in other dimensions. Like in this dimension, I was like, how do you even get to say these kind of words? And it was so ringing, so true in, I don't know what kind of language. It was so interesting. And about this, like, I want to share like maybe a distinction or research that could maybe be of value. That there's this thing that also Anne-Chloe once said to me about
Naomi,
yes,
I want to invite you that you cut them maybe.
Okay, thank you. And Chloe once gave me the distinction of holding space in a self-referenced way, and that, for example, in my case, this could have to do with the background I had in nonviolent communication, to always say I see this, or having to justify it through myself, that I can't just say like, you have huge anger in you, and just make a statement. And then there's this possibility to rely radically And when I started relying radically on bright principles, just by calling them and like sensing them, I noticed that something started moving through me. Yeah, so that has been really helpful. And then now I am playing around with the art of saying what I see, saying what comes, with kind of the elegance of not pretending like this is the truth and being attached to it. Like, if it's not me, if I'm describing the images, then I also don't have to be attached to them. And there's like a way in which you can deliver the clarity that you have and the clarity that is coming to you in a way that is still a dialogue, that you're energetically still sensing the person.
Yeah, Naomi, how do you do this exactly? When you say you can do it like this, like how do you do it? What are you?
Yeah. I have like 10 or 20% sadness in my heart to keep connected to the person and to really do this in love with the person and let myself be touched by the being of the person. Yeah, and then I speak from there.
Great. Thank you.
What I noticed is, for me, it works much better if the person who scans me is just saying that it is so. Like when Anne-Elizabeth was describing my gremlin, it was so accurate. And it awakened more of my gremlin, so she could be more accurate. And like this, it felt like a communication with it, what she was observing. And then at some point she said something like, your box, or I don't know which part, is overly confident about being right. And that totally resonated with me. And then she pulled back by saying, by explaining it or figuring it out or trying to deliver it more nicely, and that totally did not work for me anymore. Like what I realized is the hitting of, wow, this is what I'm doing, or oh wow, yeah, I really, like, she was describing my dog that is about to attack, and that was, wow, this is what I'm doing. It's shocking, but it's helpful that it shocks. And it's not so much in that moment of if it's right or not, but that's how it lands in her, and that's what's relevant. Like, how can I say that?
Yeah, how about say it in a way that it's a distinction.
Okay.
What distinction did you get from that? What Anne-Elizabeth was doing? Like, first she came and she said something, and then she pulled back. So this is a distinction. Say it as a distinction. Clear what helped, what worked, and what did not work.
Yeah, what works for me is if the person is following the impulses and just saying what needs to be said. What doesn't work for me is trying to figure it out. And on another level,
and try to figure it out by, like, how? What is the indicator?
How to land that in me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How to not make me misinterpret her interpretation. When this thing comes in with what we were talking all the time about, is that true or not? I don't think that this really matters, because what I realize is it is about the connection. It's not about me, and it's not about the other person. It's about what's happening when we come together, because I'm sure that everybody would read something else in me, and it doesn't make it more or less true. It's about what is going on between us, and how is what I'm doing activating something in the other person, and the other way around, because that's what I want to know. It's not that I want to know something about myself. What is that? It's about what works and what doesn't. And I see it reflected in the moment when I say it.
Okay, so what I hear, what worked was when she was like fierce, saying, "This is what I see," and when she pulled back and actually shared her inner dialogue with her concerns, that was not working.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. Something else, which
I
you
noticed
discovered.
that I'm questioning. I'm having the question from today on if it is the bright principle love that actually comes through me when I'm scanning and being with the other person, because even that when I say I'm scanning, it feels wrong. It really is not me in that moment who's scanning, and there's this moment where I noticed that there's much and much more, like the channel is opening up for love in like between us, but just for love in this space. And out of that, there's all these things coming that might hurt, but also might make the other person shine. Like whatever is just to be said or to be heard, to be felt. And what you, Martin, were describing with the emotion of fear, it seems like for me that this, the bright principle of love can bypass this fear if it can in one's, but that it feels for me like this is the way, even though I still also have the emotion of fear of being wrong and whatsoever, to really let that stream, and it can bypass this. And then it creates what Herbert you're sharing, like in the connection, there's all these things coming up that, that become power in the moment we feel them both, kind of. That's what my impression is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Kind of what I perceive is when we are going out of the way, it's still happening, but it's like I can create a gap between what is happening there and this, what you said, resonates, that the love stream goes through. And how is it for you when the stream comes through? Is it kind of a ping back? How do you receive then the information? Can you say more about that, Marcus?
Yeah, well, it is for this, it's more for this moment that we are one, kind of, like the other person and I one. Because my body, for example, when I was working with Devin, it was my body. I was talking from the experiences in my body I had, but they don't feel like mine. They feel like I don't know, ours. So, and yeah, so I'm speaking from that stream, but that stream is like the connection of me and the other person. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I noticed right now, while I'm trying to explain it, it feels a bit weird because I'm trying to put this big, huge, fascinating love stream into my intellectual words, and this doesn't work. Like I'm trying to explain you something here, and I've not found the way how to.
Yeah.
I want to share a question I have about in the scanning. It seems that some boxes or the people, I don't know, or the exercise within scanning, we should scan for the things that doesn't really work, or where's the weakness of that person, and the physical body, emotional, energetic. And I feel sad and angry that there's not more focus about, yeah, what's your strengths, what I see in you, what's your beauty, your worth. And it's this question also related to coaching in general. How much is the transformation is about also feeling where the pain is, where it's not working, but how much when we put our attention on also on the being and the abilities and this fire and also brings that attention there, how much it's also so much healing and so much transformation also happening, not only with the pain but also with this part of more of the strength. And so I think it's more about what idea do we have about what is scanning, what is coaching. Is it just about the pain and weakness, and or is it also how much do we balance those two parts for serving transformation?
Yeah, this is a
And I
valid
wonder if it
question.
resonates.
Yeah, this is a valid question, Johanna. What I also have is like how because we can scan the underworld and everything and go into the resistances and our blocks and emotions and all this, and I think what is for me, it comes in phases. Like sometimes it's good to remove the blocks and the resistances and the emotions, to integrate, to have more resources to actually expand the being, expand what the purpose. And I think it's not just that, but it's a variety what we need to expand on all levels. So and also during the journey we will be together, we are discovering the different kind of territories, I would say, how to empower the people, and to land a distinction. It's nourishment, it's food, right? And to bring clarity into them, and when they are healing or integrating, that's nourishing the being on another way, because then they have more capacity to let their bright principles through into the world. So I think it goes along with each other. There's nothing, this is the right way and that is the right way. They're both or more is necessary. This would be my answer.
Yeah, my purpose to say that is just to bring attention on that, I think, on our journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I think it's also important that there are different perspectives. It's like we are training our vessel to become, to grow the capacity to hold space. Like this is the main focus of this training, and not to and how to do this, and not the kind of why we are doing this. You know what I mean? It's like the focus, and I really like this question as a driver question, like how can I empower people besides what this scanning was all about. It's just it's one step. Yeah, but thank you, and I'm glad if you keep the question alive during our journey and bring it in again and again from different kind of angles. Yeah.
Maren was giving me a feedback about I was much in pictures and allegories and like I was experimenting with let's say I got the idea of little chickens, and I started to roll it out into something about her, and what was missing for her was to also to attach it to what I meant in category. Is it about the gremlin? Is it about the box, or so on? So it was working, that I was experimenting with these first-hand ideas or pictures coming, but it needed a kind of to put it into the order, or to as you were also asking me, is it a mental body or emotional body? So it's good to also put on that clarification to it.
Yeah, and to find the translation between the pictures and where does it belong. Yeah, I think Naomi, we had also this, like, where does it belong? Like, what is the translation? What is the translation to the possibility management language, right? When we are we have our culture, we have our language, and how to translate this, what we perceive. Yeah, great.
I feel the need to say what turns me on in possibility management coaching, or this way of looking at things, is that we are looking at the underworld, and also on the or let's say the other way, my fear of I've been doing other work, and what is not nourishing me at all. It's like the slogans of, bring your inner goddess, or awaken your spirit, or whatever thing, is for me not helpful, because if I look at the world as it is because of so much underworld shit, and having a grip on it is what make me wake up in the morning and do the work, and not so much to be to unfold something beautiful about myself. Is that what and also the clients I want to work with are not so much people who want their life to be better or something like that. I don't know if
what is the purpose? What is the purpose of saying that?
I have fear. I have fear of being in the wrong space, maybe, or to do the wrong thing. And I want to clarify it for myself, to set the context, because this is the first session and I'm concerned.
Because what did you hear? What made you believe that you're in the wrong space?
Different things. And it's about making it right or wrong, or is it interpretation or fantasy? Like bringing out more of the being than looking at the things that don't work. This kind of language make me feel afraid that it's about doing things better, or making people better, or becoming a better coach or something like that. So I just wanted to share that, to feel feel that I'm in the space with that fear.
Yeah Thank you for sharing that. And it's good to be aware, right? When you realize that something is because you're also bringing in the bright principles of integrity. So when something is not in alignment of the integrity of the space, I'm just say it, bring it in. We are a team, and we're embarking on this journey together, and it's teamwork. This is how it works again and again in these spaces of possibility management. It's teamwork.
And I want to say that I feel anger because I didn't hear the words more of the being than the shadow. I heard both. And I feel very passionate about shadow and doing that as an invitation, because also I think we as space holders need to check ourselves that we don't come with a gremlin like pointing out everything. There's like all these nuances I think about everything, which I think makes this work so interesting.
Yeah, and it's always, it's so different. Every time another person is in front of you with a different matrix, and everyone needs something else. So there is never right, wrong approach. It's just not working. It's just not working. And tomorrow the person changed and needs something else. So, yeah. But alongside this, it's actually time to give you like an overview also about the 3 cells and the EHP dojo and the next, or like the assignments for the whole 10 weeks. And one assignment, and I will also type this then and bring it in the group, so you don't need to write it, you can write it down, but you will get it. It's like, you during the next 10 weeks you will watch 10 of the videos, of the process videos. Like, there are at the moment 111, I think, on the Create Possibility homepage, and you pick 10, and actually the universe will pick you the right process, because there is a document I created, and in this document the first 4 processes are already mentioned, and then it goes like copy paste and do and write your research, what you found out, the distinctions, the learnings, and then you copy paste with the next. And it's so you know, when you want to watch the process, you go onto this sheet, see who is the last process, which is the last, and then you pick the next one, and you write your name and say, this is me, I'm doing this now, so that no one is watching it. And it's not a fault watching more than 10, but yeah, so that no one is double watching it. I really want to harvest every process, what is in there, that at the end we have every process watched and researched, and we put our researches in the document. Because there was already something like, someone said, do you know there's a process for unmixing emotions, for example. There you go in this sheet, type it in, unmixing emotions, and bang, and you get all the informations. And this resource will always stay with us, right? It's nothing which is then, it's in the Google Drive, and you will have access anytime. So this is one assignment. Then another assignment, or like then for the 3 cells, I will also write who is with whom together. Of course, create your own Telegram group, and so you can stay in contact. And what you do is, every person will have a process each week. So you have 3 or 4, there's one group with 4 processes a week. And
Written every week, okay.
Yeah, like 2 where you hold space and 1 for yourself. Yeah. Or 3 where you hold space. Like, you get a bit more in the 4 cell. And you record this. And then you have another meeting with the 3 cell, where you don't have EHP, but you are sharing your findings. What worked, what did not work. And sometimes it's not that you need to watch everything through because you were there, but you can go to this time in between and check, like, there was something, I think there was a door, I did not get it. And then you have the recording, and you can go there and say, okay, what was there? So you don't need to go really through everything and watch 4.5 hours probably. But you can just go and check these 10 minutes, these 5 minutes, and then check the possibilities with each other. What would have worked, what was not working, and find out and research together. Yeah, so it's really this milking the cow somehow, really, that you get all the juice out of the lemon, everything what you can get. Yes, and additionally, there will be a dojo session possible, which is not recorded, I guess. And Elizabeth is the master of the dojo, so I don't think that this will be recorded. If we want, we can, of course, we can do everything. But it will be a weekly spot of 2 hours, right? 1.5 hours.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 hours. We have a flexible timing.
Yeah.
Because EHPs have, we don't know
Yes.
how long it's going to be.
Yes. And the task will be to find a time slot which works for us, best for all of us. If not, there's already an ongoing dojo with Anne Elizabeth. It's what did you say, Pacific time?
It is 9 a.m. on Wednesdays.
Which, okay, 9 a.m. Which was
on Eastern, New York time.
Eastern.
Would be
United States.
3 o'clock probably.
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock. Yeah, the same day.
In
It
Germany.
would be just before. Okay. So, or
And Nicole is starting one.
yeah,
I started one this week that's Mondays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Makes it noon Eastern and 6 p.m. Germany.
okay, thank you. So I will also write this into the group. That these are the, I don't know, additional options, Ausweichmöglichkeiten in German.
Christina, can I just, I'm not familiar with the EHP dojo. What's a dojo?
So I will send you the link. It's a collaborative space where you just come because you know that you have an EHP or you will hold space.
Okay.
It's an agreement that you just come and then you check the necessity. Is it for you, or of course when you hold space it's also for you, but are you in service or are you receiving an EHP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Herbert, I will check. I will write this in the Telegram group, also with the right times, the Zurich Times and the New York Times and all this. So we need to find another possibility, and I don't know yet how to do this. My proposal would be Fridays or Sundays. What would fit more? And
Friday
probably
works better for me.
Monday.
Monday for me.
okay, let's have like this or this for Friday. Okay, there are 2 no's.
The time on Friday.
Probably it's also evening around 5 to 6, because then we can attend all of us, right? Because we have these different kind of time zones.
Christina, a possibility would be to make a doodle.
Yes.
So we get an overview.
Yeah, I thought there's a quick thing, but it does not look like. Okay, so I'm gonna create a doodle with 2 or 3 options, and then come back. Right. Okay. Anything else from anyone else and before we are checking out? Any questions? Maybe I missed something about like the assignments I'm gonna send, the HP, the dojo, the 3-cell, 4-cell.
I have a question because I feel fear about the time commitment about all the other assignments. I don't, but maybe when I will read it, I will get clear. But now I would like to have an answer. How many hours minimum does it take per week?
Like what was mentioning on the homepage and what I think it's reasonable, it's 8 to 10 hours per week.
Including our space here or extra?
Yes, including our space. When you count with the emotional healing processes, when you have sometimes a longer one, and then one hour per session, and then you need to check in again of researching. So there's 4, 6.5, and
6.5, and this session and the dojo.
And then you have 8.5, and then your own research. Yeah, this is.
It's a real Ausbildung.
Yes, it's
a
real research thing.
Ausbildung is like formal education training study thing.
Yeah, and it's up to you, right? It's like you take what you want and what you what you want. It's up to you. No one is controlling you. Yeah.
Sabine, I feel sad because I didn't hear your voice today, and I did see that you were going to see something. I would just love to hear your voice in the space. It's also the first time I meet you.
Yeah, thank you. So maybe that's my possibility to say what I had. So I had a question about this scanning process, and I asked myself if it's possible that I'm only able to see or to feel what's also in myself, so that I'm in resonance with this, and on the other hand, that I can see and feel what I'm afraid of. So I have a resistance to, or something like that. And then maybe it's a.
What is the fear about, Sabine? You said
now.
No, yeah, you
if
said
I speak now.
No. You said there's a resistance and a fear about. What is the fear about?
I mean, that what I can feel or what I can see, that I have a fear about that from the other person.
So that?
I wasn't ready with my question, so maybe if I
okay, go ahead.
Speak. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is, if it's possible that I can see only this where is a resonance with me, and on the other hand, where is a resistance, and all the other things, there are blind spots for me if I scan the other person. Was it? Maybe you could understand what I.
Is this your assumption? This is your deine Annahme, your assumption that it's like this?
It's a question in me, so I'm exploring this question right now.
Yeah. Share your findings as soon as you find something new.
Yes, I will do that.
Cool. Great.
I just get the impulse, Sabine, that I do want to do some research as well and write a little thing about something. If you want to join in that, make, let's say, our hour about scanning, that we write something together, if you're interested in that.
I feel fear about another commitment because
Okay.
it seems a lot of things to do, and I'm not sure if I have the time.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think you will be in the same 3-cell or 4-cell. So let's check. Maybe you can then align this. Yeah.
We will see. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation, Joseph.
I have fear to be late for my next space, and I have to go to the bathroom. So unless there's resistance, I'm going to sneak out so that I can be on time.
Okay, Nicole. See you next week.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be part of this team.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have an impulse to say something after what you said, Sabine, and what you said, I kind of related it as well to what you said earlier, Monica. Right now, I don't remember what it was anymore, but it brings me to the territory of exactly what I think the research of a space holder is. As in, okay, like I want to be in integrity. And then sometimes the voices of like, oh, but I maybe just feel what is resonant with me, and that means I can't offer everything. Sometimes in me, that feels like a very limiting voice that comes more from my gremlin. And I was very much connecting to the mage training in these topics. I've heard people that were watching the mage training recordings. And I think that could be interesting for some of us, because this was a lot about relying on stuff that you were, like your box was convinced that you can't do, and feeling so vulnerable in offering something and not knowing if it was going to land, and just going with it anyway and freaking out, and learning a lot from all of that. And now I sense that I have like different locations now, like it's a bit more energetic and impulse, and then it comes from a different place. So I feel like these kind of subtleties came, and I play with them a bit more confidently now. So that's a possibility, to watch those recordings.
Yeah.
Or join the next Mage training. I don't know if it already started and if there's still space.
It is going to start in January.
Yes, and Marcus and Martin are on the team, right?
I know for myself, yes.
I know for myself, yes.
So,
Naomi, can you post the link for the mage training recording, or somebody else who has it?
I don't actually know where
on
I guess
YouTube.
It's on YouTube or on Podbean.
Mm-hmm.
I can send you the link
for
the kind of the first one, and then you will find the yeah.
Thank you.
Also on the website Mage Training, there are all videos.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you. And I also relate to what Naomi said about, like, is it my box and my old conditions and my old, like my patterns, which are still spinning around and resonating with something, or with the person, with the client in front, or can I put my box on the side and something else is coming through? So I'm also researching still, and I think it's an ongoing research, and I'm glad we are opening these research questions for the whole journey, and probably for the whole life. Yeah. So thank you for the first session together, embarking on this journey, and I look forward to next week seeing you all together.
I have one last topic. Habet, I was asking myself what you were sitting on the last 10 minutes. And if you ever feel like sharing it, you could, I'll be glad to hear from you in the group, in the Telegram group. Something. It seemed to me like from that you were sitting on something.
Yeah, I shared most of it actually already. Yeah,
Cool.
but thank you. I can share more if I feel like then in the Telegram. Thank you for this opportunity or possibility.
Thank you. Great. Then
See you next week.
see you next week. Enjoy.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Next
Ciao.
week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.